Hello out there in podcast land. This is Phil and Mary coming at you with another podcast, and we have a most interesting guest with us here in the studios, and you'll meet her soon, and we are all plugged in and ready to go. So our guest has seen some of the interesting things we have to do to get ready for these podcasts. It's no easy task, let me tell you, but we'll save that for another visit. Right now, we want to get on with the sponsor for today's podcast, and that is the CNAs of Friendship Village. We're referring now to those dedicated and early risers who come around to the doors here in independent living and provide a service that is much needed and appreciated, and without which we might have to go to Wellspring or another level of care. So we thank the Lord for those kind ladies, and Mary herself, in fact, has a personal witness and testimony about how that has been helpful in her life. Mary, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experiences with the CNAs?
Okay, over the years that I've been here, I have come to rely on the CNAs to help take care of me. And along with women, there are a few men that are CNAs also, which I've encountered.
Okay.
And they're very, very good. I've had them over at Wellspring. I've had them here in my apartment. And they come and do whatever is needed of them. You go through the nursing staff, you qualify for whatever care they need to give you. And I'm so appreciative of when they come and help me out. Mm-hmm. And they help a lot of people out. They have their rounds, and they do begin, I have learned, at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
some of them come to work at 2. Yes. They have to check things first. They check on a lot of the residents at Wellspring and go around, but by 6 o'clock they are calling on people to get them up, help get them dressed, put on their TED hose or whatever they need, give them their medicine, whatever's called upon them to do for that person.
Does somebody come by your place at 6 in the morning?
No, I tell them 7:30 is the earliest they can come.
Okay, all right.
One did come at 6:30, and I said, I'm still in bed.
Okay.
They kind of learn. They have a schedule, and they kind of learn where they can go and what time.
Okay.
So we've got that all taken care of. But we do appreciate their help. Uh-huh. They really work hard.
Well, in fact, if it wasn't for them coming here in the morning, you might have to be yourself back in Wellspring.
Right, or not have their service, I guess.
Not have their service.
No,
yeah.
You'd have to have a family member helping you or something, but
yeah.
They
Okay,
do.
great.
They do help.
Well, listen, next order on the agenda here is a joke, just to kind of help set the mood for the day, for this podcast. And you might not believe this, but I've run out of jokes. I'm looking for new. So, but in the meantime, Mary Craven will admirably take my place and present us with something jovial.
Yeah.
Mary, go ahead.
Inside me, there's a person struggling to get out. But I can usually sedate them with 4 or 5 cupcakes.
Okay.
Another little quip is wine is constant proof that God loves us and loves to see us happy.
All right.
That's it.
That's right.
Well, our guest today is a very lovely lady that has been around for quite a while. I didn't find out how long she's lived here at Friendship Village with her husband, Gene, but we'll get into that. Her name is LaVonne Marley, and she lives over in one of the duplexes. And I've known her since I've come here 8 years ago. And we've done a lot of things together, and I've enjoyed her company and enjoyed her husband. And I thought she might be a very interesting lady to interview. Welcome, LaVonne.
Yes,
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
You got to talk loud.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So LaVonne, we'll start out like I always do because we got to go to the background. Where were you born?
I was born in Wapton, North Dakota.
What is the name of the town?
Wapton,
Wapton?
yes. Breckenridge is Minnesota. Wapton, the
Right over the line.
bridge. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
And how long did you live there?
After I got out of high school, then I moved to Rochester, Minnesota.
Okay, so you lived there all your
All
childhood.
my childhood.
Went to school there. What did your parents do?
Farmers.
Farmers.
Yep.
And you
Born,
had
raised on a farm.
okay, and brothers and sisters.
I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay, a good sized family.
And my youngest sister passed away at 9 years old with cancer.
Okay.
But we have a set of twins, brother and sister that are twins, and I'm the eldest.
Oh, you're the oldest of the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you probably all had to work on the farm too, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah.
We each had our little jobs to do.
Right.
what was your job?
Picking eggs.
Did the chickens cooperate with you?
No, I wore a glove on my hand to poke the head on the side so he wouldn't pick me.
Oh,
I have to do it for my aunt. I'd carry a stick. And
Yeah.
I'd take that stick and I'd
Push it over.
poke the chickens. And a lot of times they just get mad and fly off the nest.
Yeah.
Then you could gather the eggs and go on to
Yeah,
the next
and go
one.
on with your
Yeah.
whatever, yes. And my other big project was I had to have breakfast ready because my father was a dairy farmer.
Okay.
And so when he got done milking the cows, you better have your breakfast ready.
Right.
And that was, 7:15 in the morning, and sometimes they overslept.
Okay.
And boy, that breakfast got put together pretty fast.
Yes. Yes. A lot of meals for the
Yes.
farmers.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Morning, noon, and night.
Right. And they worked in groups with relatives.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were gone to another, then we would get to have soup for lunch or whatever we wanted because we didn't have to make a farmer's meal.
Right. Right.
So that's something that stands out in your mind.
Right. Right. So then after you graduated, you went to Rochester.
Yes.
You got a job there
I worked in a bank
in the bank.
I did run a sorting machine
Mm-hmm.
for the checks.
Okay.
And I went there. I went to St. Francis Academy in Hankinson. Then when I graduated, a friend from Russell, South Dakota, she had an aunt and uncle living in Rochester, and they said, come and you can stay with us and you can both find jobs.
Okay.
So that's what we did.
oh,
Right.
Wow.
We went there, and then we got an apartment after we each got our job, and then they lived there for quite a while. And that's,
Is that where you met Gene, your husband?
Yeah, well, we met in Austin, Minnesota at the Turf Ballroom.
Okay.
Ballroom.
Oh,
And,
You both like to dance?
well, we thought we did, yeah. And then, that it just all went on from there. Then with me living in Rochester, well, then they would come, friends, a group of guys would come, and then they'd go to the Playmore in Rochester.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did dancing. Then we went to movies and,
All the
ca-
things that young
you
couples
kind
do.
of did group activities.
well, yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rather than
but-
just single couple.
Right. And Gene had a brother, Dave, and he would be along, and so, yeah.
So then how long did you go together before you got married?
Oh, maybe 2 years.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So when did you get married?
We got married in 62,
Okay.
1962, in Morton, North Dakota, where I was born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, those were the days where there were big weddings.
Right.
And they did nasty things. They took the tires off of our car and threw them on top of the garage roof. My dad was not very pleased, but that's the way.
Well, now
it
you
went.
said they did that. Now, do you know who really did it?
Oh, there was just friends that were there.
These are friends.
Yeah,
You thought they were
but
friends
they
anyway.
were cousins and stuff like that. That was the way they did it.
And when
Okay.
it was their turn, you turn around and did it to them.
Did it to them, I imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So,
then,
so your last thought the night before your wedding was, I wonder what they're gonna do.
Well, you
tomorrow."
did. It kind of did go in my mind, wondering. My dad was not pleased at all.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, but he wasn't surprised either.
No, he wasn't surprised, but he wasn't pleased.
but- Okay.
so where did you settle then when, after you got married, where was your home?
We came to Waterloo because Gene worked at Rath Packing Company,
Oh.
and after he came home from the service, he was in the service before, and then they were doing layoffs, so much layoffs, and so then our brother-in-law, his brother-in-law, George Cloverdance, said, maybe you need to look around. So he said, try IPS at the time. So he got hired, got a
Okay.
job there, and worked there for 33 years.
Mm.
And we lived on Howard Street. Well, we first lived in an apartment, and then we moved to Howard, and we had the start of our family. Well, we outgrew a 2-bedroom house. So then we moved over on Birch, and that was a
That's where
story and a
you,
half.
yeah,
That's where we came from.
okay.
Yeah,
Birch.
next door to your family
Yeah,
now.
My grandson and his family live on Birch.
Next door to where we did.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. And one day they didn't live there. Well, we started out with other, neighbors.
Yeah.
But then when they moved on, like what we did, one day we were coming home from a tour of something, and it came up, where did you live? And
Yeah.
it was like, oh, okay. We were right next door.
Yeah.
Jeez.
In the meantime, you were busy having girls.
Girls. Yes.
How many?
7.
7 girls.
7 girls.
7 girls.
Are they kind of right in a row? I mean, as far as age?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every year you went to the hospital and had a new girl. And Jean kept sitting in the waiting room hoping it was a boy.
And our doctor was Dr. Thornton. And after the 7th one was born, he said, well, we tried our hardest. And they said, okay, that's it, no more.
All right, can you go down the line and name each daughter from old to youngest?
Yeah.
All right.
Janelle, Lori, Susan, Cindy, Gail, Nancy, Becky.
Okay,
God,
very good.
Can
amazing.
you?
And are they all married?
Yes. And they're all around, basically around here.
Okay.
We got Waverly, Cedar Falls, Des Moines, there's 2 in Des Moines, LaPorte City, what am I forgetting? Waterloo, there's 1 here. So that must be everybody. I think so.
I wouldn't count.
And they provided you with how many grandchildren?
Okay, we have 15 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
Wow.
Your family reunions get pretty big, don't they?
Did you ever see them?
No.
Have you?
No.
Oh, they've been out in our backyard
Okay.
Oh my.
2 times.
Yeah.
We've done it. Yeah.
Very-
It works out good. We clean out the garage, and then they bring in folding tables, and they bring in food, and we party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometime 1 year it was in the backyard, but this last time it was in the front yard. And I was a little scared about the little people, but
Oh, coming out to the street.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there's enough people around and everybody watches.
Right.
So yeah, we create a little disturbance, but everybody says that's fine. It's good to see a lot of people running around.
Right. Right. Family reunions are great.
Yes.
They're great.
Yes, and we went across the street to the memorial, and because I always like to look at that, because Jean's name is on a brick in there,
Good.
and they like to see, oh, that's Grandpa's name in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took pictures, and then that following week we had a windstorm, and that big tree went down.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's been a memory, because they come down, they say, oh, that's a big hole there. And we have lots and lots of pictures of
Yes,
that tree
yes.
now.
And do you keep photo albums?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's the best way you can do it.
Yeah.
Well, now, when did you guys move out here to Friendship Village?
We've been here 9 years.
9 years. Okay.
Yeah, so in 14.
All right.
And then
And
it
I
was,
moved here in 15.
Yeah. And so it's 9 years in August.
Yeah.
End of the last day of August.
So you weren't here too much longer
No.
before I got here.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And then 2 years later is when Gene had that bike accident.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Tell us about that. He was riding up on
on
Kimball?
Park Lane
Park Lane.
Park
and
Lane.
crossing Kimball.
Kimball, yeah.
Yeah.
and a car hit him.
Car turned in front of him.
Oh,
And he had a signal that said he could go through. I don't know if it blinded their vision, the sun facing the east or what, but anyway, it just put him right on the vehicle.
And then he had quite a time recuperating,
Yeah,
rehabilitating.
yeah. Spent time in Iowa City and then came back to Friendship Village and yeah, don't want to do that again.
No, but he did. He came through wonderful.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
He did. Excepting now that he has hearing problems, but that comes from medications.
Yes.
oh,
That's what did that.
okay.
There's an ironic twist to this story too. Another lady that lives in Friendship Village was your neighbor, Donna Carr.
Oh yeah,
And she had 5 girls?
5 girls.
5 girls and you had 7.
Yep,
And you were neighbors. And those girls kind of grew up together.
they did. Her youngest were our oldest age. She had 2 that Linda and Jane, and then we had the others that, you know, they went to school together. They walked to school together. They played together. Anybody got a big box? If you bought a washer or dryer, they delivered them. Man, those girls had more fun. Free entertainment.
Right, right.
And then they used to do half the day at Donna's and then the other half, you know, at our place.
Oh.
So, because they'd spend a lot of time together.
Right.
Gosh.
And yeah,
Were they in each other's weddings when they got married?
No.
Any of them?
no.
You had so much family that the family
Well,
kind of...
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was fun.
That was kind of unique.
Yes,
That
we,
you both moved here to Friendship Village and you both lived neighbors and you both
Right.
all had girls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and another story from Donna's. I'm not an animal lover. So Donna had a couple dogs. And as soon as I came to her house, she'd have to push them out. I'd have to wait outside to come in. She could get them into the stairwell going upstairs. Otherwise, if she didn't, as soon as I sat in the chair, they were in my lap.
They wanted to be your friend, but you didn't want to be their friend.
I guess I grew up on a farm. We had animals, but we never had them in the house.
Yeah. No.
And my head tells me no, they should be outside.
Right.
Okay.
Although my kids have way too many dogs. And I say I can't believe it. And the girls will say, neither can I.
Yeah. But when you go to their houses, so that you get along okay with the animals?
Well, yeah, they stay away from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they must sense, oh, she don't like animals.
Yeah, we had a few animals too, and then our kids got their own homes and they all have animals.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
but that's okay. Everybody likes
well, yeah,
something like that.
yeah. And our girls will say, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah. Or why am I doing this?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Now, do all your daughters have jobs in Waterloo and they're...
Well, they're wherever they're living.
Yeah.
They have jobs.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the one from LaPorte is here. It works for Mercy,
Okay.
but now she's doing it from home.
Okay.
And they're kind of all. We got one in Palo, and she was working for Upper Iowa,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, just one in Waverly, and she works for a place there. I forgot what the name of that is. I guess I didn't write it down. And so they've all been employed, and now beginning, the oldest one is thinking maybe I should retire.
Yeah.
And the second one has MS, and she's having problems, so has retired.
Right.
And so I think that just kind of,
That's where our kids are at that age right now, all of us that are, and they're talking about retirement.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Can I afford to retire? And, different things come up because they all have children. We all probably have grandchildren about the same ages too. Mine are from 20-something to 30-something.
oh, well, ours are younger. But yes, but we do have little ones. Well, that's great grandchildren, I guess, yeah. Yeah, but it's fun.
It is.
When's your next family reunion going to be?
Well, we just had one.
Just had one. Okay.
We'll wait till next summer.
All right.
Well, yeah, and we were together in Cedar Rapids for our oldest daughter had a birthday, and so then her family, her daughter, surprised her with a birthday party.
Okay.
Never had a clue, and it was a whole bunch of us that were there. She couldn't believe it. They kept her away until the very last minute, and we all wore orange shirts because orange is her favorite color.
Okay.
And so they get pretty creative.
Good. Good. And they like to have a party, evidently.
Yeah.
Her-
It was fun, and her husband brought her, and when everybody rushed out, and she couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
He was probably in on it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. But they had the hard time too to keep their mouths closed, that you
Yeah.
didn't goof it.
Right.
Goof it all up for everybody.
Right.
It's nice to hear stories about how families can just get along so
Oh,
well
yeah.
together.
We're lucky.
Yeah, wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we do good.
Now, do any of you ever, do you have any reason to go back to the Dakotas where you came from? Is anybody there?
Well, I have cousins there, but it's a long ways.
It is.
Yeah.
And so we just haven't, because it just doesn't always work out. When your parents die, I can't just go to the funeral or to the cemetery
Yeah.
and visit. Now my brother and sister, they do that,
Yeah.
but they're one is in Minneapolis, and
Right.
so it's easier to go.
Right.
They just had a small get together a while ago, and I kind of wanted to go, but yet, so we didn't.
It gets harder to travel the older you get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so we just don't go. It's hard because my aunts and uncles, my grandparents, they're all, and then we've got some cousins, but not the ones that I kind of grew up with.
Right.
They're different places.
Everybody, that big a family, everybody's spread out.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
Right. I understand that.
yes.
Great.
Well, let's see. Last time we had a podcast interview, I asked the lady, so I want to ask you the same question as, could you identify any lesson that you've learned about life over your years of living? Any particular lessons sort of stand out as being important?
I don't know.
I guess we don't take life for granted,
Yeah.
or we take each day as it comes, see what it has to offer us.
And we've been so fortunate that our life has gone. Our biggest turmoil was this bicycle accident, and
Right.
we come through that. And
Yeah.
we've got a big family, but everybody gets along, and
That's good.
Look after each other.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
That's you just gotta. Sometimes you might, you might disagree, but it's best to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. What
Well,
is it
it
you
sounds-
like? What is it you like about living at Friendship Village? What are some of the things you like?
Oh, it's just, I like it. We like it really, really well. It's we're in that duplex. It's like you're still in your own home.
Did you look at any place other than the duplex when you first came?
Yeah, they brought me to all these rooms in here,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, I can't live in an apartment. I have to be able to look out and see whatever. I have to see movement. I have to be able to look out windows
Mm-hmm.
and not just in one side of a building.
Right.
So we had Jake Bates with us, and he said, "Oh, okay, maybe we better go look at duplexes."
Okay.
So we did. And I said, "Oh, this feels home,"
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And plus it had an attached garage. We never had an attached garage, so that was a nice plus.
Right.
You could look out to your back. You look to your front. You got your neighbors. You know,
It's like living in your home.
it's like living in your home.
Mm-hmm.
Was there somebody on the other side already living in the duplex
Yes.
when you came?
Yeah, Merlin Harbaugh lives next to
Oh,
us.
Merlin. Yeah.
Yes, and Mary Miller lives in the house next to us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice big backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And do you do outdoor work?
no,
Does Gene?
not as much as he used to.
Right.
He used to putter around a little more, but, you know, they mow your lawn. I go out and sweep the grass off of the sidewalk when they get done,
Yeah.
you know. And we have some flowers out there
Right.
that
Right.
we have hanging, and our kids bring us seasonal stuff and put it out there,
Right.
and then we'll go out and pull it in and
Mm-hmm.
put it away. But
Okay.
yeah, we love the duplex.
Right.
Good.
That just is, I don't know, I just like it. It's
Yeah.
it's a home.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, these are homes too, but I wasn't.
It's
for
what
that.
you chose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't. I
A
just,
lot of people like the idea of a duplex.
well, and this was kind of goofy too, because I went to St. Francis Academy in Hinkinson, and I lived there from Monday to Friday, and we were only 13 miles from home, but in that time, 13 miles was a long ways away.
Right. Somebody had to come and get you and take you and all that.
So Monday morning we were taken with our suitcase, and Friday night with our suitcase we were picked up and we went back home.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
you don't think anything of, you know.
No.
And I lived in a dormitory, and it was fun.
Mhm.
We had a good time. But when I went to looking and walking around, I said, no, I can't do this. I did this for 4 years of high school.
Okay.
And that's what brought us to the duplex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
It's everybody's choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, and that's maybe someday, if you
Have to move
have to
someplace.
move, then you might have to.
Yeah.
But not yet.
Do you get involved in any of the activities?
Well, I used to do a lot more, but sometimes no, I don't. We go to the music, we go to different things,
Mm-hmm.
but not like I used to do.
Right.
So,
Those times change also.
yes, yes. And plus, I don't want to be gone from home if somebody comes.
Right. If you have company, your door's always open.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And the kids aren't that, they're close enough that
Right.
they can pop in,
Mhm.
so.
Did they do that? Just pop in
Oh, yeah.
unawares and
Oh, yeah.
hey.
Yeah, yeah. It's nothing. I suppose just because you got Waverly, you got LaPorte, you got Cedar Falls, you got Waterloo. There's 4 of them here that can pop in anytime,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
so, and they do. And so that's what's good.
All right.
So, no,
Sounds like you would say the Lord's blessed your lives
Yes.
richly, huh?
yes,
All right.
yes.
Well, listen, we are at the close, and so we're going to close with this thought. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.